Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the great Dan Sinawat. He is an international thought leader in the world of AI. His incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, for millions of Americans, AI started when ChatGPT came along. But the truth is, it's been around for a generation now. And Dan Sinawat is in the studio. He was AI before AI was cool. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Nice to meet you guys.
All right, so let's talk about the very early days of AI. What's your first memory of AI?
AI has been around before it becomes sexy. So, we've been helping customers since it was like a virtual chatbot, and maybe even like a basic thing like AI or machine learning, where you actually use it in telecom to find a better signal for you, like all your phone that you've been using. People don't know there's a lot of AI and machine learning back in those days.
Yes.
But now it's become personal. We've become more.
Yes, and every company on the planet is being asked by their shareholders, what are we doing with AI? So you have a lot of bosses trying to get AI into the workplace, but many of them don't really know how to implement it. Mm-hmm. And that's where your company comes along. He's the founder and CEO of AI CONNEX. Tell us how you work with companies.
Yeah, I think how I started this company a couple years ago is because I start to see the trend of this AI is coming along, but people are looking at the wrong thing. To me, AI is 95% business, 5% technologies, right? It's sexy right now to talk about LLM, ChatGPT, all these fancy words. But then at the end, what does it matter to the business? It's the outcome.
Yes.
How can you deliver the outcome?
Well, we're going to pull up your website, and as we scroll down the website, let's talk about you. You work with companies large and small, right? Everything from the Fortune 500 to Joe's plumber down the block.
Yeah. Everybody needs AI.
Everybody needs AI. For the average business owner who's watching this right now saying, I know I need to get on that AI train, but they haven't really implemented it yet. Even we talked about Joe Plumber. AI can't turn the wrench, but AI could certainly follow up on appointments and tell them your technician is late, yeah. Right? There's a lot of ways a plumber could use AI.
Right, exactly. We have many different AI solutions. One of the company that I work a lot with called Bluecore is a blue collar worker AI for just like LinkedIn for Indeed for blue collar worker. Mm-hmm. And it helps people that never existed before in any database to create their profile and create resume by just talking to AI. Wow. Imagine, creating something from nothing.
Yes.
Right, where these people don't even know how to type. They don't even have a PC, and they don't even care about making a resume. Now just giving them a phone number and a website to go in and then to start talking to AI. After that, it generates your resume, create you a LinkedIn-like profile. Imagine that in itself.
That's beautiful.
Right.
What's one of your favorite success stories so far?
So, we work a lot with the enterprise customer from manufacturing, logistics, construction. One of the best story that I think I could tell is how can we help, company like housing authority where, you're managing a lot of the room and application for, underrepresented family who needed to get in the room. Mm-hmm. But let's say in the state of New York, it takes them 90 days to process application, right? Because it's like such a massive, thousands of people wanting to get into those building and room. And then, applying AI, we reduce from 90 days to a couple of days.
Wow.
So imagine how many people we keep off the street. Yeah. That's the impact we're talking about. It's an innovation and humanity. This is the time.
Yes. And Dan is a king of networking. We're going to show some video from one of your networking events. You hold these regularly. Tell us why you do these events, who's invited, what's the goal of the networking group?
Yeah. Well, we do a lot of these networking events to encourage people to start adopting AI, right? That's one thing. And then second, I think, is to build that ecosystem of founder, investor, and family offices who wanted to, be in this innovation, and AI transformation era.
Sure.
And that's why I created a second company called VC Arena, because we've been doing so many of this event. And eventually I see the gap in the market here in Dallas where, there's a lot of great founders, a lot of investors, family offices, people that want to invest in this, startup, but they don't know who to invest and how to invest. And then same thing with the founder. They don't even know where to go to get the money.
And you invite VCs to some of these networking groups so that the people who are looking for venture capital money can actually meet the VC?
Yeah. So we created what we call a VC Arena. And every 2 weeks, we actually host a VC Fight Club where you actually get to pitch directly to real investor. Right. And we try to screen the investor. There's a lot of fake investor out there. And they said they're venture capital, they're like investor, but they're pretty much like a broker or syndicator. And then, they don't have real money in the bank. Founders need to really talk to real investor. And that's why we created this community where we actually vet people.
Yes.
And then, try to get good founder and investor on the same community.
And you do a lot of speaking on panels. I think we have a picture of you hosting an AI panel. In fact, you were here in our studios a week ago. Why is that important to get the word out about AI and how to use it? Why is that so important?
Well, I think at the end is to get the right message out, right? Like I was saying earlier, AI is 95% business and 5% technology. How to get people to think the right way so they don't fail. If you look in the report by MIT, 95% of the business fail on the AI projects because they just go at it from a technology standpoint, right?
Yes.
So.
Okay, you made a bold statement right before we started taping that you want Dallas-Fort Worth to be the new Silicon Valley. Is that possible?
Yeah. And again, I see that we have the potential. We just don't act like one. And that's why we created this VC Arena. We have amazing founders here, people that can build things. Imagine people on the coast, Silicon Valley, great founder, young kids, but they're good at foaming or, building their messaging and raising funding. But a lot of these people, they don't even have product yet. But people here in Dallas, in Midwest, a great founder who can build things, but just not good at telling their story or not good at talking to the investor.
Yes.
Because there's not enough exposure.
Outstanding. Dan, thank you for sharing your heart and your wisdom with us. We're going to end with his website, which is AIConnex.ai. The great Dan Sinawat. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Thank you so much.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.